Hey gamers, I'm Mark and you're watching Keller Creative Games. Dragon Quest VIII Journey of the Cursed King just came out on January 20th for the 3DS. This is a re-release of one of my all-time favorite games, which is widely regarded as one of, if not the best JRPG of all time. So let's take a look and talk about what you can expect from the game, including what's changed from the 2004 original and if you should pick it up for your 3DS. Dragon Quest VIII was originally released on November 27, 2004 in Japan and November 15, 2005 in North America on the PlayStation 2. It sold about 5 million units worldwide, almost 500,000 of which were in North America. These are really good numbers for a Dragon Quest game in this region, but I should note that a demo of Final Fantasy XII came with it, and it was also released on PlayStation 2, the best-selling console of all time. That's not to take away from this being an excellent game, but it's likely these factors aggrandize the game's success. Rewind to the late 90s. Enix decided to re-release Dragon Warrior 1 through 3 on Nintendo's Game Boy Color. After the Square-Enix merger, the re-releases continued on the DS with parts 4, 5, and 6. Last year, part 7 came out in the 3DS. Check out my in-depth retrospective on that game on my channel's page. And finally, to sort of complete the re-releasing on Nintendo handhelds, part 8 has been re-released also on the 3DS. While Part 7 was a more drastic remastering, 8 can be classified as a re-release with some new features. This is actually a good thing because Dragon Quest VIII is honestly a masterpiece and substantial changes aren't needed to update it for today. Let's take a look at what's changed from the PS2 to the 3DS version. First, I should note that although this is on the 3DS, there is no 3D support on the top screen. This is actually the first 3DS game that I own that doesn't have a 3D option. The bottom screen will display maps while on the overworld or in towns, dungeons, and the like. It'll display party statuses during battles, just like other Dragon Quests on DS and 3DS. There are some menus that you access on the bottom screen, but there isn't any support for touchscreen item management. Like the update to Part 7, enemies will now be visible and random encounters have thus been eliminated. Except for when you're sailing, but I guess they would be attacking from under the water, so let's let that slide. Rather than only being able to save your progress in specific pre-designated places, you'll now be able to quick save at any time. This is a nice new feature given some sessions of play between saves can last hours, but isn't necessary on the 3DS where the system goes into sleep mode when you close it and you can pick up where you left off just by opening it back up. This would have been more welcome on the PS2 where you're stuck to a television. It's also quite confusing. It saves to a suspended adventure rather than to your normal save file, so be aware that the two are sort of separate. One of the more interesting additions is the new camera feature that allows you to take snaps of the action and customize it with text, filters, stickers, and all that junk. It allows you to add, remove, or change characters and save them to your SD card for you to never look at again. These pictures will also be used for in-game side quests, such as when photographer Cameron Obscura challenges you to bring back photos of rare monsters, specific scenes, and to photograph a golden slime in each town. Additionally, the only Street Pass function that I'm aware of at this time is the ability to share these photos. If other players have positive responses to your pictures, it will unlock additional camera features. There are 2 new playable characters added, Red and Mori. Both were in the original game, but now they'll be coming along with you. It'll be interesting to see how they're integrated into the story and what kind of system is implemented to switch between characters for battle, since we now have 6 rather than 4. There will be new story elements that likely go beyond the 2 new characters. We can also expect new minigames, side quests, monsters, and just maybe a new ending. The PS2 version has 2 endings for comparison. A fast battle feature allows you to get through them more quickly and should make a noticeable impact on the overall time it takes to complete the game. On the PS2, you could expect to put in 90 hours to beat the main story. Similarly, the alchemy pot is faster and easier to use. I'm looking forward to this as I had a fun time with it on the PlayStation 2, even though I didn't find it very intuitive. Some changes I would have liked to have seen in the new game are the option to have a female main hero character to push the appeal of the game to a new demographic. Granted, Medea's character also would have needed to change in order to accomplish this feat story-wise. A good Street Pass or multiplayer feature using Wi-Fi would have been a welcome addition as well. Assuming the photo sharing is the only Street Pass function, I'm likely not going to bother with it. Since finding monsters to battle in the arena is a huge side quest in the game, expanding the variety and being able to trade or battle those monsters with other players would have made a compelling and addictive multiplayer function if done correctly. I find it a bit awkward that the control stick and the D-pad aren't interchangeable, so making that happen would have been great too. Finally, give us an updated inventory management system with the touchscreen. Actually, just forget all of that. This game is a masterpiece and shouldn't be changed at all for re-releases. It would be like if they tried to remake Back to the Future. I'm not going to get into an in-depth review of the game today, but I can say that Dragon Quest VIII is one of my favorite games of all time and easily my favorite PS2 game. I do intend to do an in-depth review and retrospective at some point. Real quick, this game has one of the best presentations I've ever seen. Visually, it opts to go with cel shading rather than realism, which has helped it age incredibly well. The sprites are fun and colorful, the world is vast, and gives the impression of a truly epic scale. The music was originally orchestrated, but I understand that it's been compressed for the 3DS. But listening to it through headphones, it still sounds amazing, and I could never tell the difference. The cutscenes are all voiceovered with actors, and besides a few notably cheesy exceptions, they did a fantastic job. I won't dive too deep into the excellent story, but your main crew of characters includes the hero, Yangus, Jessica, Angelo, and the previously mentioned Red and Mori. King Trode and the Horse Princess Medea join you as well, but they're not playable. They all handle differently in battle, and outside of fights, they have great chemistry, particularly between Yangus and Trode. Did he just flick a booger? He just flicked a booger. If you've played other Dragon Quest games, you know what to expect in terms of gameplay, but 8 has really perfected it. Turn-based battles are at the core, which will earn you experience to level up character strengths and abilities, as well as netting gold to spend on upgrading your weapons, armor, and items. You'll explore castles, caves, towns, towers, and all of that while meeting new characters to help you out as you advance the story. For the most part, it's linear, but after you access the ship, it really opens up. So, is the game worth buying? Dragon Quest VIII, in short, is a masterpiece and holds up excellent even to this day. If you like RPGs even a little bit and haven't had an opportunity to play this yet, I would venture to say that this is a must-buy. However, you could basically get the same experience for less than $25 with the PS2 version of the game, although you would be stuck to a television. Bottom line, if you haven't played this yet, get one version or the other. If you are a big fan of the original like myself, I think you'll still find enough new features on the 3DS to make it worth your time and money. And if you haven't played it recently, it's time for you to revisit anyways, and the new 3DS version is as good a reason as any. Alright, let me know what you think of Dragon Quest VIII and this video down in the comments. I am super appreciative of all of your feedback, and that's where I go to find input for my future videos. Please remember to subscribe for content on all things Dragon Quest and video games in general. Thank you for watching.